A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant move to aid families facing infertility, President Donald Trump signed an executive order on Tuesday aimed at reducing the costs associated with in vitro fertilization, IVF. This medical procedure has become a beacon of hope for many couples struggling to conceive, but it comes with a hefty price tag, often ranging from $12,000 to $25,000 per cycle. The executive order highlights the urgent need for Americans to have reliable access to IVF and more affordable treatment options. It states, providing support, awareness, and access to affordable fertility treatments can help these families navigate their path to parenthood with hope and confidence. In a bid to implement these changes swiftly, the order instructs the Assistant to the President for Domestic Policy to deliver a list of policy recommendations to protect IVF access and aggressively reduce out-of-pocket and health plan costs for IVF treatment within a 90-day time frame. The issue of IVF access has gained traction in the political arena, particularly during the 2024 presidential campaign. Recently, Alabama's decision to protect IVF providers from legal liability came shortly after the state Supreme Court ruled that frozen embryos could be classified as children under state law. Trump has publicly expressed his strong support for the availability of IVF, recognizing its importance for families wanting to expand their households. A recent poll conducted by the Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research revealed that approximately 60% of U.S. adults are in favor of protecting access to IVF. In contrast, 26% remain neutral on the issue, while around 10% oppose it. This growing support reflects a societal shift towards recognizing the significance of fertility treatments in contemporary family planning. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, assisted reproductive technology, including IVF, accounted for 2% of all infants born in the United States in 2018. As awareness of IVF increases, it is essential to understand what the procedure entails. IVF is typically pursued after other, less expensive fertility treatments have been unsuccessful. The process involves retrieving a woman's eggs, which are then combined with sperm in a laboratory setting to create a fertilized embryo. This embryo is subsequently transferred into the woman's uterus in hopes of achieving pregnancy. The IVF process is carried out in cycles, and multiple attempts may be necessary to achieve success. Insurance coverage for IVF and other fertility treatments can vary significantly. While larger employers are increasingly offering coverage to attract and retain talent, many smaller employers do not provide such benefits. Additionally, government-funded programs like Medicaid often have restrictive policies regarding fertility treatment coverage. Critics argue that the lack of widespread insurance coverage creates a disparity, limiting access to those who can afford to pay thousands of dollars out of pocket. IVF has a rich history, with the first baby conceived through the procedure being born in 1978 in England. The first IVF baby in the United States, Elizabeth Carr, was born in 1981 in Norfolk, Virginia. Elizabeth's mother, Judith Carr, had undergone 3 abnormal pregnancies, leading to the removal of her fallopian tubes. Seeking treatment from Doctors Howard and Georgiana Jones, who opened a fertility clinic at Eastern Virginia Medical School, the couple faced significant opposition before the clinic could even open its doors. A public hearing in 1979 drew over 600 attendees, with many women voicing their support for IVF and sharing their desires to start families. However, anti-abortion groups raised concerns about the implications of medical intervention in human conception and the potential for embryo discarding. Despite the challenges, the number of IVF centers grew rapidly, with at least 169 facilities operating in 41 states by 1988. The procedure's popularity has surged over the years, but it has not been without controversy. The American anti-abortion movement has had a complicated relationship with IVF. While many abortion opponents have accepted the technology as a viable treatment for infertility, opposition has intensified since the overturning of Roe v. Wade in 2022. As the IVF landscape continues to evolve, understanding how embryos are created and stored is crucial. The treatment typically employs hormones to stimulate ovulation, allowing multiple eggs to be produced. A needle is then used to retrieve these eggs from the ovaries. Fertilization can occur by either adding sperm to the eggs in a lab or injecting a single sperm into each egg. The fertilized egg is cultured for about 5 to 6 days, developing into a blastocyst, the early stage of an embryo. This embryo can either be transferred to the uterus or frozen for future use. Frozen embryos are stored in liquid nitrogen tanks, with the freezing process involving the replacement of water in the embryo cells with a protective fluid. This method allows for the safe preservation of embryos for years, with the majority surviving the thawing process. Facilities that store these embryos are equipped with security measures and backup generators to ensure the safety of the stored embryos, even in the event of power outages. In conclusion, President Trump's executive order represents a significant step towards making IVF more accessible and affordable for families across the United States. As discussions around fertility treatments continue to gain momentum, it is essential to ensure that all individuals, regardless of their financial situation, have the opportunity to pursue their dreams of parenthood. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.